All right, hello world. How's it going? Let's see if this is going real quick. Like, I mostly trust it, but we'll just verify that we're live. Oh yeah, I heard Ninja left Twitch today and went over to Mixer. It's a very interesting move. I wonder how much money is involved in that switch. On all sides of the fence. I'm guessing people at Twitch and Amazon are freaking out, but because he's gonna drag a lot of people over there with him, or a lot of viewers, a lot of eyeballs. Uh, let's just make sure we're live. Online showing activity, channel video produce. How do I get to see streaming? It says so. I can probably just look at that, but I want to look and verify that it's doing what I think it's supposed to be doing. Maybe if I can figure it out. How do you get to the dashboard? Oh, yep. So as before and as always, the machine goes very slow when OBS is running because I haven't yet set up. I've got a Windows machine now, but I haven't actually fired it up. Yeah, I'm in science and technology. All right, and it says live, so we should be seeing me coming through. There you go. Cool. Nice. All right, so we're live. So gonna be doing some more live coding this evening. Obviously, the coding for this evening is going to be working on my website to migrate it from Jekyll to Hugo. The Jekyll engine is the engine I've been using for a long time, and Hugo is a new one. So I did some work on my script offline. So Jekyll migration scripts is where we're headed. So I've got a bunch of kind of test posts in. Wow, I really have to slow down because I type fast and then the machine is definitely struggling. I just need to make sure I don't click on something while it's, for example, just like that, where it's waiting on me and then accidentally get ahead of it and do something crazy that freaks it out. So I've got all these test cases where I'm doing various things to the files, and I can actually go up a directory here. We're going to fire up a couple different ones. So we're going to go under Hugo site. I'm also listening to Tool on my headphones, so they just came out on Spotify, and I'm not sure that's the best idea because some of their stuff is good. Actually, I like a lot of their stuff. It's just every now and then it's like it gets kind of intense, and that may not be what I should be doing right now. Hugo serve-d for drafts. And so we should see it. Oh, I love how fast it builds the site, even though there's not that much stuff in it right now. But I should be able to go. Oh, here we go. Made a link for myself right here. Huh. Nothing there right now. Oh, I think I know why that is. So that's the Hugo build process, which is going to make the files for us. 46 and 2, I think is the name of this one, which if you haven't seen the version of the kids doing this song from whatever that music camp is, you should definitely check that out. Just Google 46 and 2 kids, probably get to there. Desktop. Nope, that's the wrong place. It's in my woodshed, alanwsmith.com. It's going to be Jekyll migration scripts. Yeah, look how slow this is. So I use a Python virtual environment so that I can keep all the modules in. And so like if I do Python version right now, -- version, you'll see I'm running Python 2.6. But with this virtual environment, if I do source, which is already set up, it's this this venv is a virtual environment that I've created. And you create those with Python-m, Python, I spelled that a lot, -m venv is what makes those. I'm not gonna do that right now because it's already built. But then if you source, go into the virtual environment directory, into its bin, and then do activate, you'll see on the left side of my command prompt right now, this new venv pops up, which is what lets, because it wasn't there a second ago, or however many seconds ago that was, 10, 12. So now if I do Python version, you'll see it's 3.7.3. So as compared to 2.6 or 2.7. So 2.6 is the system version, and I don't want to mess with the system version. So these virtual environments let me move to Python 3. Whatever easily and to keep stuff going. So it also works when you're working on like Lambda functions. I want to be on the same version that the Lambda function is going to be on, which is a 3.7, I think, maybe 3.6, but you can put any environment in there that you want. Anyways, so we're going to go into the transform Jekyll post to Hugo script, and I've left this actually in a broken state because I was working on it a little bit yesterday, and I wanted to leave it in a broken state to make it easier for me to find how to get back into it. So if I run it, it's gonna break. So it's the way that I've got this set up is here's the main class that does this on line 17 right here, and I'm gonna guess 100. Nope, further down than that. So here at 120. I've actually got a test suite. So I've got the test suite and the actual main file running together. Because what I want to have happen is I want to run the tests, and then what I do all the way down at the bottom of the file is if the tests pass by this code right here, basically this sets up to run the test suite in a not normal way. But if it sees failures, it prints out the response and then it exits. If it doesn't print out the failures, it just prints the test report, and then it passes all the way down here to run migration. So if the test suite passes, then all the files migrate. So it lets me basically run the test suite and then actually run the files too. And so what I've got it set up to do, because what I want to be able to do is go look at, wow, see, come on computer, there you go. You can do it. I want to be able to come to this local site and actually watch the stuff happen. And look at that beach ball. Wow. Refresh the page. Is that gonna make it slightly better? All right, there we go. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run it again. Ooh. Oh yeah. See, I got ahead of it. I got ahead of the computer, and it put a weird character in there. It deleted something. So anyways, now we can run it. So line 70 is where it looks like it's complaining. Let's see what this error message is. Type error, add date to metadata, missing 2 required positional arguments, metadata string and date string. Okay, so that's on line 70. I gotta not have tool going in my head right now. That is intense, and I like it, but it is messing with me at the moment. All right, where are my single songs to loop? Let's see what we got going on now. Stand by. Actually, we're gonna do eminence front again, because that's a pretty good looper. So here's line 70. Get updated contents. Wait, that's not right. Get updated contents. Add date to metadata. Oh, okay. Sorry, line 70. Yes, right here. All right, so what do we need to do to add date to metadata? Missing 2 required positional arguments. Metadata string and date string. Okay. So add date to metadata. If we're gonna go look at that again, there's for test for it. Where's the actual? There we go. So here's what it's supposed to do. Add date to metadata. So I've already tested this and it works. And so basically what this is doing, see if I can find one of these. This is actually a good one. bring it on the screen so we can all see it. Oh, yeah, whatever. How I discover bipolar disorder. Great. Let's get a distracting though, so we'll do this one. That, by the way, is on my blog, so it's not like a surprise or a secret. So basically what this does is, in this front matter here, lots of the posts have a date in them, or an originally posted date. So right now this one's commented out, so I won't see it. So basically what this is doing is all the file names have a date string in them, you know, year, month, day. So this add date to metadata, if there isn't a date, if a date doesn't exist here, either pulled from originally posted or as a date itself, then it is going to add that date to the metadata. So, and the way you do that is you pass this chunk of text as a string to it, which it then uses so you pass that as this metadata string, and then you pass it the actual date string that you want to have to it. Basically, it takes the date string, year, month, day, and it turns it into a date object. And the reason it does that is because if you don't do that, when you re-output the text, it puts quotations around the year, month, day, which I don't like. It actually works. I just don't like it. It's not clean. So by turning it into a date object, I just figured this out by experimentation, it gives you that better year, month, day straight text string. Then it takes the metadata string that you pass, processes it as YAML, and then just makes a YAML object, basically, which is just a hash. Or actually, it is just a hash. Or what's it? A dictionary in Python. So if date exists, then you just return the metadata string. If the date doesn't exist in there, then you add a date with that date object. Then you take the metadata string, then you take that metadata and dump it back into the metadata string and then return the metadata string. So basically, what that means is right here, I need to pass it the metadata string, which I know, and this isn't the cleanest thing right now, but it's going to be okay. I know that this content part 1 is the metadata string. And the reason I know that is because what this process does is it splits this the file on these 3 dashes, which is right here. So that gets to the content parts. And then so content part 0 would be everything before those 3 dashes, which is not really anything. And then this section right here is content parts 1, and then this section here would be content part 2. So I know now that I can do this. Content parts 1, and then the date, it looks like it's going to be date string here on line 65. And like, we'll just see if that works. Oh, okay. This is progress. So the other thing that I've got going on right now is these test targets. So I'm trying to do basically what are integration tests. And what I mean by that is it was tough for me just to do straight test cases on this with integration tests. So what I've done is I've created a new folder that's test targets. So I've got test cases and test targets. And so inside test cases, one of the files that I'm working on is this image test2. So this is the source file. And then inside test cases, in test targets, I've also got this image test2, but without the date on it. Let me put these side by side so we can see them. And so this is what I'm starting with, and this is basically what I'm shooting for. Now, it may change a little bit as I mess around with this, but like, so I've already got text, or I've already got code in there that removes this layout, and I've already got text in there that converts categories to tags, which is what this is. So now the big thing I need to do is get this date to show up. And so, oh, I guess, could I see? Oh, no, so it's failing. So it's not doing the output, because it would be great. Well, yeah, that would actually be better if I could see what, whoops, what the output is. So it looked like everything went, but it's actually missing the date somehow. So it didn't get the date thrown in there. That's this minus dates right here. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, right? Because if I, and I actually don't know what the other data is, but if we do this and change it to there, okay, yeah, so it doesn't look like it's pushing the date out at all. So the question is, why not? Oh, because I'm not actually pushing the part that I did back in. Let's see what that does. Ah, we're getting closer. Okay. So one, I've got the wrong date. So in the test target file, I wasn't sure what the date would be. I just knew we needed to have a date, but it looks like it's 2015 0215. So that's what I'm shooting for. And that's still going to fail because the date is showing up a line. Or so it's showing up like that instead of like that. And so, by the way, the way that I'm doing this test case is I'm actually just comparing the files exactly. Basically saying, is this equal to that? Which is a little bit of a, it's kind of aggressive in terms of doing it, but like it's a really good, for me, it's a really good integration test because this is exactly the output that I want to have happen. And I know that that's exactly the output I want to have happen, so just put it in there. But I thought I had code. Oh. So this right here is adding a new line in front of it. I think this is going to do it. There you go. Yeah, so basically right here when I'm joining the contents back, so I do a split right here of the content parts. And then right now I'm just updating the metadata, which actually I guess I should put this. Update metadata. And then we can do this to do update contents. Pardon me, folks. I'm going to burp a little bit tonight. Cheers. Yeah, I really wish I could have the music going for y'all too. Update contents. So right now this is just all about updating the metadata. So I've got this metadata working. And then so what that's actually going to let me do, oh, I don't know if there's a good way for me to show you. Yeah, so now Hugo is just automatically generating the site and automatically redoing this page. So a minute ago there was nothing here, and now you can see that the posts are starting to come in. And the question is, I think all the dates are going to show up now. Yeah, prior to doing this, a bunch of these dates were zeros. I wonder if I can show that. Actually, let's do this. So that works. All right, so this is my, I'm just using GitHub desktop here to do all this stuff. Add date from file name if it doesn't otherwise, oops, exist. I don't know why that didn't get caught. I don't care about that. Cool. So let's see if I can show you what that looked like. So this was the line that I added there. And then add date to metadata. Whoops. Ooh, don't do that. I know there's a better way to do this in Vim, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Oh. Date mask. So let's see if I go here. If I do that, is that gonna pass? There you go. So now you can see whatever, this is the home page, and so not all, so some of the posts went back to 2013 or whatever. That's where the samples were. But if you look on this next page, several of these posts don't have a valid date. So it's just doing the 000. It's doing the first year AD, January 1st. And you can see they all kind of fall into that. That's because those files don't have, and so here's the image test 2, it didn't have a date or an original date posted in it. So this is why I'm using the file name basically as a fallback to say, hey, if you don't otherwise have a date, go grab this file name and use it. And so, whoops. Oh, did I just close that? Whoops. I think I just quit Sublime Text. Which that might mean that if I fire it back up, yeah, there's my files. However, undo is probably not gonna work. Yeah, okay, so date 2015, whatever. We're gonna find that in a second. Because we're gonna undo all this and undo that. And now I should see the date 2015-02-15. All right, so I'm just getting back to where we were. There you go. And so now when we go look at the page, we can go all the way to the start page again. And then so the first thing to notice is the first post is now this 2019 post. And then 2018, 2017, because originally, I forget which one it was. But Books I've Read was the first post, because all the rest of those pages didn't have dates associated with them other than the file name, which wasn't coming in. So now that we've got that, now if we go back, basically all the posts have dates. And so the other thing that this lets me do, if I go down here, and one of the reasons I like this is, so right now when I run the migration script, when I actually run it to produce those files, and the reason I want to produce those files and I have it all in one script is so that I can actually see the output as Hugo sees it and do the render. But so on this line, it gives the test cases, but if I comment this out, it'll actually do all of the posts from my original site, which is right here. So it's going to burn through all of these. So it'll take a little bit longer, but the cool thing is not that much longer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's taking a lot longer. Oh, because OBS is going to do the streaming. Last time this was way faster. It's just like a couple seconds. It's funny, you can see live reload over here kicking the page back and forth repeatedly. Oh, I wonder if you can actually see it go. Nope, it's going too fast for it. Oh, this is disappointing how long it's taking. I think I've run into this before, but I'm still going to do it. We're going to go all the way through it once, and we're going to see what happens. Because at that point, I can pour a little bit more. Tonight's going to be a relaxed coding evening as we listen to the dulcet tones of Eminence Front and have a cocktail or two. And lest you worry about me having to go get more alcohol or get more, so I brought the alcohol, obviously it's right there, which I mix with Sprite, which some people will give me grief for. That's fine. But also I brought extra ice, so I shouldn't have to get up. Wow, this is taking a long time. There it goes. So now, let's see if Hugo's happy. Wow, yep, mouse is slow too. So Hugo made a bunch of files, cool. If we go here, what we should see, oh yeah, converting a Rubier, and wait, 2015. Oh, 2019, there you go. Oh, Hugo might still be going. Changes rebuilding the site. Okay. All right, hang on. Hugo's still re-going. That may have been a bad idea, was to have all those files rolling out while Hugo was actually still trying to do the rebuild. Let's do this. Turn it from scratch. Building sites. So it built it in 2 seconds, if I'm reading that right. Oh, it already did the refresh. So what should happen is down here at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. So now there's 85 pages of posts, and the going all the way down. First post, yeah. So 2005, whatever. We jump in. Sweet Home Alabama with the Red Choir Army. Oh, I should watch that. Actually, does that come up? I'll have to find the link for that. Oh, why isn't that showing up as a link? Interesting. But yeah, so there's all the posts. At some point I might do something different with the actual stuff here, but that has my dates going. That's cool. I'm super psyched about that. Okay, next thing is actually probably going to be those books that we were just looking at there. Ooh. All right, so now this is going to get kind of boring, probably. More boring? I don't know. If you've enjoyed this so far. So now I've got basically all the posts moving over in the way that they need to move over. One thing I am going to need to do, so like on the live blog right now, that's going to be a long name. Let's go to the second one. That's the second. That's another one. Here we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. An ode to modern Renaissance. There we go. Yay. So recently it was all, some of my posts were all mental health stuff. Wow, whatever. We'll go to the top one. So one of the things I'm going to have to deal with at some point, so I'm going to change the URL structure just a little bit, which I'm not a fan of doing, but it's worth doing at this point. So one is I'm going to add the www in, which right now it goes away, but I'm going to add that in. I'm going to make the site secure, which is not currently. But the other thing, based off the way that Hugo works, is right now all these pages exist at the root, but Hugo has them under posts, and then also doesn't have an HTML. It just has a slash there, like if you look at the URLs. So I'm going to need to deal with that. That's for a later time, but that's something else that I'm going to have to mess with a little bit. But again, that's for a later time. But for now, what I want to try and see is how to make this highlight show up as code. Because if you look at the site, which I was just on, well, actually, one thing. Okay, yeah, so the numbers happened, so that worked. And then these code highlights worked right here. I've just got a slightly different tone behind them. I'm not actually a fan of that red. I don't know how I ended up on that. Let users manage their own. Oh, / Alan W. Smith. Okay, interesting. It does the name of the site slightly different. That's fine. But this stuff right here, all this code. So in Jekyll, when you start with this highlight JSON and this end highlight, it turns all the rest of this stuff into this nicely formatted code. So if you look at the page source, so you can view, actually I should show not the hotkey to that. Oh, actually, yeah, sorry. So you can't see it up here. There's a view menu. Wait, sorry, there's a develop menu in Safari. And then, I actually don't know which one it is. I just use the hotkey for it. Service workers, inner snippet, close web instructor. Oh, yeah. Under the develop menu, there's a menu called page source under here. Where if I click on that, it brings up this. Hang on. If I click on page source, it brings up this window. which shows me the actual HTML code behind the page. And so if we scroll down here, here's where you can see that highlight.json or highlight JSON. And then all this code is actually formatted. It's formatted like this, but without the highlight function taking effect, it just renders like this gobbledygook. So the trick is, how do I get it to show up as code? So now we're gonna have to go do some research. And this is probably gonna involve me reading some. So, and I tried to kick around with this a little bit earlier today, just to have a chance at not making it super boring. Syntax highlighting. Oh, okay. So I need to change. I need to get it to look like this. So I'm going to just do one of these manually. Oh, so the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to move these back to just my test files just so it goes faster. See how much faster that went? And if we come back over here, then we go here. There you go. So at least the test file is still there. So now what I'm going to do is just manually update this file for a minute. How to, I think that's it, right? So the Jekyll, or sorry, the Hugo syntax highlighting is squirrely bracket thing. Squirrely bracket less than, maybe? And then greater than squirrely bracket. And then down here, it was slash highlight, is that right? Oh, wow, that's fast. I mean, that's super fast. I was just gonna jump over here for a second and check and see if I got the syntax right, and I did. That's super cool. That is super cool. Okay, I'm super impressed by that. Yeah, so that turned it into this same type of syntax highlighting. It actually looks like it did better syntax highlighting. I like the choices that this syntax highlighter made weren't as good as this one. Good on you. Okay, I'm super impressed with that. And also, it looked like you could do line numbers table, highlight lines, line start number, line. What does this do? Oh, 8 and 7 through 15. Yeah, look at that. That's super cool. So you can highlight individual lines. And you can start. Oh, that's super cool. But I think what I want to have is this. So right now I'm just messing around with like, what do I actually want to have the stuff do? And then I guess it's already done. Boom, already done. Oh, wow, that's hot. I'm excited about this. That's super cool. Cool. So now what I need to do, or now what I'm going to do, is we're gonna find whoops. By the way, I use a mechanical keyboard and it's got the red keys, and the reason I like them is because it takes the least amount of pressure, and that makes my hands less likely to get RSI stuff, carpal tunnel stuff. But I've discovered there's another type that's apparently new that's happened since this keyboard. That's actually it only takes half the travel distance. So it's an expensive keyboard, but I'm like, part of me is like, I spend so much time on this keyboard, I might be buying another expensive keyboard, um, which, but that's okay. Like, I don't mind paying for tools, and especially for stuff that I use all the time. Like to the point where on a couple of these keyboards, or the one at work, I've worn the N down to where you can't see the text anymore. All right, so test cases, subdir. The reason that subdir is there is because I was doing a glob match, excuse me, to match the structure of this, because I point at posts and I need to have these subdirectories there. So it was just easiest to say, hey, just add a subdirectory here, so that the posts come that way, because you could picture a whole bunch. Like I point it to this level, and you could picture like 2017, 2018, 2019, whatever, and then all the images, or all the files. So that was just a quick way to do that. How to create an IM. So this is the file. All right, let me close some of these. So those are good. Those are good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this to my test targets. And I'm going to remove the date from it because it won't have the date. We're going to open this up. No, I guess I can pull this back over. Oh, so what I should do actually. So all the rest of this is right. So really, I don't want to start from. I don't want to start from my original test case because there's already been a bunch of changes made. So I want to start from this right here. Because this already has like the date, the description. Oh, description null. Interesting. Was there a description in there? All right, I'm gonna deal with that in a second. Migration scripts, test targets, paste, replace. So we're gonna close this, but I want to go look at my test cases, subdir. I don't remember. Whoops, that was not it. Oh, it's the last one. Okay, gotcha. Oh, description was null. Gotcha. Okay. So let me do migrate, migrate files. Okay. Get updated contents. That's really where it goes to do. So what I need to do is to do remove descriptions that are null. I'm just trying to put stuff in here in a way that I might remember to get to it. That's not super critical, but I kind of want to do that right now, but I'm not going to because I want to get the highlights. I don't know which one to do. Let's try and get the highlights going because that's gonna be more impressive if we make that happen. So that's the source. We're gonna do our test target. And I'm not gonna worry about any of the header stuff right now. Oh, that title. Oh, interesting. The title jumped a bunch. I guess it automatically does new lines after a certain amount of time. That's cool. Whatever. So, but the target is going to be for right now. We're just going to do this. Is that right? Space would be better. That'd probably still work. So that's what we're trying to get to. And then what we're going to do is, oops. Somewhere up here, integration, test target. This is, did I commit all that stuff? Why is that like that? I don't know. You're right. Oh, because I moved it. Gotcha. Set up. Move in. New test target. And then nothing's really happened there yet. Whoops. Test target files. So the source. For test, so basically what I'm doing, and this I know this is where I do my individual test against the test sets, which you can see these right here. Just trying to remember how it works. So you open the target. Oh yeah. So you're just, and then target files read, and then and then you update the contents. So that's how these work. Is you read in the contents of the file, and I'm trying to separate the reading and the writing for the most part, or the writing of the file out. So I just want to have the copy of the text sitting in memory. So that's how that works. I'm with you. Or that may not make sense. R4Y paste. There we go. We don't need this one. That's going to pass because it's just doing the same thing. Now this is going to fail because we're writing a failing test case. Whoa. Oh, weird. I hit a limit on max thing there. It's not showing me the full thing. That's crazy. Target. Stay on target. Why do I feel like that's screwed up? No, wait. Oh, yeah. So this is definitely going to break because I'm not even putting the right thing. Oh, it's a long post. Crap. Diff is 742 characters long. Is that max max diff to none to see it? So this actually may not even work coming off the thing. But here's the source file. Set self max diff to none to see it. All right, we'll try that. I don't know where you do that, but what's that gonna do? Oh, there you go. Look at that. Yep, so here's where the highlight isn't working right. And there's gonna be another one up here where it's not working right. And everything else should be cool. Right? Yep, everything else looks cool. Cool. So now, hopefully, All right, how are we gonna do that? I'm trying to think if there's a way. There's not really. I don't have a good way to like test that other than to do that integration level test, right? Um, which is going to happen here. So content parts 2. All right, and I always forget how to do Python replace. This is my little grimoire here where I just keep all my code snippets. Capturing matches, find and replace. I know you don't need compile. I need to redo these at some point. Pattern R1, R2. All right, so you can just do replace. So we're just gonna do a hard replace right now, just to get these going. So this is the just quick, what Sentiment's calls shameless green. Like I just want to do the quickest thing I can do to get the test passing again, to get the green, and then I'll refactor off of that. So we're to do content parts to replace print, yeah. And we're to take this whoops, with this and then in highlight with that. Boom, test passed. Yeah, so I don't have a good way to like unit test that or to break that out as its own thing. So I'm just going to go through and make these test pass. Well, but what's cool too is now, oh, Hugo error. Rebuild fail. Got closing shortcodes, but none is open. Huh. So I did a replace, but I didn't do it well. Or I did a... Oh, that's weird. Okay, so this is the other good thing about how this is working right now, is I can now go see what actually broke. And this is something I like about the way that this thing is set up. Wait, isn't that the syntax? Syntax, whatever. Syntax. Highlight. Surely it doesn't have to have other stuff after it. Highlight. HTML. Is it that? Oh, crap. See, that's the one bad thing about this in terms of testing, is I've got to actually make sure to update it in 2 places. I'm going to pull one of these off screen for a minute just because I want some space. Give me space. So that's the original. I don't need to mess with the original. This is my target. I'll do that. That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so that passed. Is Hugo happy yet? What is going on? Got closing shortcode, but none is open. All right, and that's this file. Reload. My ice is melting. Guess I better do something about that. All right. So that's definitely opening. And I swear this worked a minute ago, right? Because we manually did it. Let's see. So now we're due again, because I've got it. Original content posts here, which we were just on. If we just take it all the way out for a second, what happens? Oh wait, it didn't. Okay, still not there. I'm goofing somewhere. Oh wait, no, it killed the process. Look at that. Pigment test. Oh, it's killing on something else. I see what's going on. Read the error messages, folks. Read the error messages. It's dying on a different file. So my guess is that Pigment's tests doesn't start with JSON. It starts with Python. So now, and again, I'm just gonna shameless green this. JSON. Actually, how do you do undo? JSON, Python, right? I'm still trying to get used to Vim. So I'm trying to substitute JSON for Python on this line, and I want to do it in both places, right here and right here. So without the G, it just does the first one. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to try it again. Substitute JSON with Python. But if we do global for the line, it gets both lines. So now if we run, we still pass. If we go back to Hugo, boom. So there we go. So this is happening programmatically now. That's not me having done it by hand. And we will also find there's one could be here called Pigment's test, right? Pigment text test. So this is a Python one. Yeah. So what I need to do, I don't want to have to go through and by hand make all of these. So now I need to build a regular expression for them. Which I can do. So what we're going to do is go back to my little grimoire here. Actually, I want to just handle this right now. So Code Runner, my favorite little tool for just burning stuff fast. So I don't want to compile that. I just want to put it here. That's cool. That's good enough. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Wait, it really took that long? But whatever. Compiling. Compiling. P-I-L-I-N-G. If you're gonna run it a bunch. See, I feel like the depth with which you have to hit the keys, I often find myself moving and sliding and hitting the top of the other key because you have to go down and then like I start bringing my finger up immediately and it brushes the top of the other key. But if the depth of the key hit was less, I'd be less likely to just keep knocking the keys a little bit. So I think I'm gonna definitely. I just convinced myself to buy one of those keyboards, by the way. Anyways, there's that. So now what we need to do. Are you in here? Yes, I do. Okay. Sub. So the pattern, then the replacement for the string. Oh, from the string. Okay. So the pattern is going to be highlight / word plus any word characters. And just for yeah, it's fine. So we're gonna do it anytime you match highlight, we're gonna replace that with highlight /1 because we want to grab the first thing that we hit, right? Is how that works. That might have to be in double quotes. We're just gonna put in double quotes to be sure. Highlight /1. Actually, I'm gonna put it in single quotes because I want to use double quotes here in a minute, and we'll see if this works. Highlight /1. That. So that's replacing highlight and then either JSON or whatever HTML, could be anything, as long as it's one word or one set of words, which I think all the stuff I did should be. From content parts, let's see if that actually passes. Failure is one failure. Highlight JSON. Gotcha. So it's puking. So it's doing the replacements. Whoops. Why are you breaking? Highlight JSON. Yeah, so it's missing. It's not doing the replacement. So let's see. And it's funny because this is so like line 75 is automatically making these lines 78 and 9 disappear because this match is doing the replacement. So those characters no longer exist because they're here and then they get taken out here, so they don't exist here. Let's see if I put this in double quotes. Whoops. How do you do? Find me that, and then replace it with that. Crap. Still didn't do it. So somehow it's not grabbing. It's doing the replacement because it's finding it. What's going on? What am I doing wrong? Oh. You gotta do this. Whoops. I think that makes it a regular expression. Somehow that makes it, this should work. Boom, there you go. So now the Python's working. Yep. And this one's working too, right? It should be. Boom. Cool. And so now what's also cool is I can add line numbers, which I really like. Where did line nose table? That seems weird, but okay. So in this replacement, whoops, I can do this, and now it should. Oh yeah. Don't save that. So is this my target? Don't save. This is my target, which wants this right here. So again, I did that in a backwards order. Like, it would have been slightly better if I had actually updated the target text first. But I knew enough about what I was doing there to just switch them. But so now I should be able to delete these lines because they aren't doing anything. And the highlight, like, I don't need to do a regular expression for this other one. That just does it. I can just put a note in here. That's super cool. And now you should see line numbers. Boom, line numbers. And now if we go to the second one of that pigments test, you should see line numbers there too. Yeah, and so like I could make another test with pigment test to verify that the Python was working explicitly, but because I'm seeing these line numbers here, I'm solid. And the other thing with this is I'm really building the script for a one-off move. So once I make the migration, I'm sure I will find some stuff that didn't go over quite right. I can then either go back and just remodify the script a little bit if I want to. Like if I see the same thing in 100 files, I'll go back to the script and do it. But if one thing only happens in one file, I'll just fix it and like I won't have to worry about updating the script. I might update the script anyways, just because it's like I like the idea of like having the script do 100% of the stuff. But like if it's really complicated to make the script do a thing that I can just like manually go click, 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 I'm just gonna go click, 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 which is harder to say than you would think. Click, 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 click. I used to be able to speak faster than that. It's the click, click, click. Also, musician days, I should have been able to do that faster. Oh well. That's what happens when you don't practice for a decade. This is cool. I'm psyched about this. Yeah, this verifies that the pigment highlight tag worked. Yeah, so it's not actually pigments in this. I do need to get a slightly bigger font for this. But whatever, I can mess with the thing. I'm just happy just looking at this. Okay, cool. So that did that. Oh yeah, it's cool. You can see that only adjusts. Oh yeah, so there's another one in there. How to create an IAM policy. So we know that one. Pigments test. Wait. Oh, gotcha. That's two of them. Never mind. Convert highlight to Hugo syntax. There you go. All right. Nice. So now, so is everything done on this one? At some point, what I want to do is link these. So I manually put in these superscript ones to act as footnotes that link down here. So at some point, I'll actually go through these and update them to actually have those link down to the footnotes. But that's a project. Like my current blog doesn't do that, and that's very much a thing for another time. The links are working. I guess I should check links, right? Stack Overflow. And this is super cool because all this stuff was built off of Markdown, just flat Markdown files. So migrating it to this other blog engine is actually pretty easy. A lot easier than some of the WordPress stuff that I was looking at. Cool. Okay, so that's good. I could just go next here. I guess I could just go next. Happily. So that's all fine. Wait a minute. Didn't that look super squirrely on the homepage? Yeah. All right, so let's see what's going on with this one. Actually, what's going on with this one? Oh. Interesting. This may be tricky to figure out. So I think what this is doing... Content posts, document.write. Huh? Oh, image loader test is probably what that is. Yeah. This is weird. Div, oh, for one thing, there should have been a div in there. Oh, no. Div, script, photograph. Oh, okay. So you start the script. Why? So there's not a description here. This may not be programmatically solvable. Summaries. Across authors, yeah, the more. Be careful doing more exactly in all lowercase within a white space, front matter summary. Yeah, so it's just throwing Hugo description. It's pulling a description tag. Yeah, for content summary. So check this out. So this page oops. Image loader tests. Oh, that was it. Here, let me clear some of these. Oops. Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that. There you go. Come here. Image loader test. Document.write image loader test, which is document write image loader test. So you see small image test, a link to this Cloudinary thing, and then a whole bunch of JavaScript. Whoops. So document write image loader test, small image test, link to this, and then starting with a whole bunch of JavaScript. So it should start with image loader or var image loader dev v1, right? Var image loader dev v1. So it's pulling the JavaScript in. Weird. So it's a summary because like so watch what I think's gonna happen here. We see all this gobbledygook on the list page, the homepage listing. But if we go to the page, whoops, sorry, if we go to the page, nope. If we go to the page and we do and we save image loader test and we see if Hugo goes, ooh, it needs to be description. Look at that. Oh, maybe it needs to be summary? There you go. Yeah. This is the summary, right? But if I take that away, descript, description. Weird, I thought description worked. Huh, oh well, whatever. Yeah, if I take it away, you get to that. So, see, that's one that I may actually just have to go through and deal with on stuff that has JavaScript in it. Summary page variable, automatic splitting. Wow, got ahead of the computer there. Hugo summary, JavaScript showing up. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm like, there's not going to be a programmatic way to deal with that. I'm just going to have to go through and put in summaries. That's okay. But what's interesting, that does open something else up. Summary markdown file. I'm going to look at that later. Small image test. Yeah, see, these are all pulling. So what I need to see, because I thought some of them had descriptions and the descriptions were loading in. So now I'm just looking to see, I'm looking to find one of my test posts that has a description in it. There you go. Description, this is using Facebook tags. I think I was on the first page. Using Facebook tags. This is a test. Ah, okay, so it's not. Yeah, so the description is this is a description, and the file is this is a test. Using Facebook tags, this is a test. So it's not using the descriptions. Okay. So check this out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull one of the basic posts that's working good for us, which is this Facebook tags, which has a description in it. It has two, oh, this is the description. It's wrapping a line. I see what's going on. So I'm going to blow away. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to take this file and we're going to move this to the targets. But we're going to change this to summary. And they're alphabetical, so PQRST. Okay, so that was in the right place. So that's going to be what we're shooting for. And we're going to come back here. Where's our tests? This is where I was doing all the cleaning up of the metadata posts. Those I did have broken out explicitly, which I guess you could do that with this, but like these tests catch it, and that's good enough. So whoops. So that's the target that we're going for. Whoops. And the source file. Is this one. So this is going to break, right? Because description is getting description instead of summary. But now, oh. Yeah, I guess I could do that this way, but like, so I'm testing all these individually. So I'm going to test this one individually too. That's fine. So what I was just doing is I'm passing a string. Yeah, this is actually okay. So slug, layout, author. I should probably alphabetize these at some point. Question mark. So ooh, don't do that. So I'm going to feed it a description, and I want to get a summary back. But what I also need to do is I'm going to take this one out of the mix down here for a minute. Because I just want to have this one fail. Because that's this one. And then so what we're going to do is we can actually copy that, and we're change description for, whoops. That was not what we're going to do. We actually need to make a change, which are these changes. Changes. So description is inside the metadata. We want to make summary. Wow. Summary equal description. And then delete description. Which pop, I had to look it up, but pop does that. So Oh. Oh, I spelled one wrong. Published versus published. That should work. Oh. Now I'm confused. Add Pomeroy. Title. Oh, because they're in the wrong order. Because it alphabetizes things. Oh, it updated. One of these had a description in it. See, that's the one danger with doing the integration tests is when you make a change in one place, it goes across the board. And that's where I need to take out. So I need to take out description null anyways. Oh, so do I take out description null first or summary null? Because if depending on the order, that's a tricky one. Which target was that? The credentials one? Description null, yeah. That should pass. There you go. And so now, this is the description in Facebook tags, which is what's in the summary, which we'll see. I should do this. Does that could work? All right, starting to fade. Nope, here. This one? Yeah, there's summary null. Cool. It's the Facebook tags one that we're looking at, which is here. Yeah, so this is a test, was the content, and now it's actually saying this is the description from our summary. Perfect. So that's working. I should leave it in a broken state. Whoa. See, got ahead of the computer again, and it freaked it out. I'll tell you what, right now I'm happy with where this is going. I'm still, like, these, I don't have a good way to deal with these right now. Like, it's just going to take going through and manually updating them. But that's fine. Like, I was expecting some amount of manual work, so that's going to be part of it. But so let's do this for a second. So I'm going to close down Hugo so it doesn't keep fighting us. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to Finder. So I'm going to go to my... Oh, actually, I guess I should post that in. Summary and front matter. From matter. How about front matter? And so now what I want to do is, real quick, so original site, prod, posts, when was this? 2017, 09, 22. Now I'm confused. $2016. I'm super confused. Back to contacts, Bullet point bracelets. Bipolar 2017. 2016. No, so 2017, 09, 22. That's not there. Oops, I stopped Hugo. That's fine. What is going on? Twenty 17, 09, 22. Ha. Did I accidentally pull these out for real? Ooh. That's not so good. It's not that far back. It's back to contacts 2017 106. So it actually should be bullet points of bracelets, right? FreeNAS server. Is that a post I never posted? Huh. No way. I had to have posted this. Or maybe I didn't. It was just sitting in drafts. (2012) 07/19. Huh. That must have just been in my test files. Small image test, Cloudinary. Weird. Okay. So that kind of freaked me out, but I must never have used those. Social media app store icon. Is that one? See, that's one of the tricky things about how I had to do the site. Or how I was doing the site. I bet that was in a drafts at some point. What am I looking at? Image loader test, that definitely wasn't there. Come here. 2015, 04, 22. So that's one, okay. Interesting. Huh, okay, so yeah, so I never actually did those pages. That kind of freaked me out. Oh, and using Facebook tags probably isn't a real one either. Whoops. Oh, you can't undo that. Using Facebook tags. This is a test. So 2012 07/30. Back up. Where's 2012? About here. Oh, not too far off. Oh. Computer angry. How about here? 2012 07/30. There's no way. To May. Still May. June 2012 30. So we need one more day. I used to take photographs. I'm gonna start taking more photographs. July. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so some of these posts aren't actual posts. All right, that's good to know. Anyways, so what we're gonna do now. Oh, this can be the broken test right here. Or does that actually work now? Does work. Oh, look at that. Fixed it. Whoops. All right, so the test suite's green. It's actually not how I want to leave it, but I think I'm going to have to because I'm getting that tired. But what we can do is give it a full run here. See how long this takes to actually... So this is migrating the full site right now. This is interesting because this is how some migration goes. Oh, my ice is melted. See, that wasn't too bad. So when it's not sitting there with Jekyll underneath it trying to build it while it continually writes, and those two things fighting each other, not fighting each other, but like Jekyll continually getting new things and then burning resources trying to do that. So let's see how long it takes Jekyll to build the whole site. I think this is the first time I've done this. Building sites. 2.5 seconds. That's hot. Because it used to be like many seconds. Like tens, maybe. I don't know if it went to 100 seconds. Whoops. Chess. Boom. Okay, so the descriptions are now showing up with the text. That's cool. Watching for errors and rebooting with Bash, yeah. No, so I did do a bunch of descriptions for a bunch of stuff. But now that I know how these are going to show up on here, it's going to be different. Yeah, I wonder how many... That's cool. I've got a description for a bunch of them. Or newer ones, anyways. That's super cool. Okay, I'm really enjoying this. So I'm actually in a really good place right now where I could just about launch this. Because everything's showing up and it's going to the right dates. Because, yeah, 2005 is when I switched the site over from being just a site to being a blog. 2005, what did I say? All the date, so the dates are right. The content's showing up. Oh, and some of those are actually showing images. Where did the images come from? Oh, the images were called... whatever. So here's one thing that I want to do with this. Oh, yeah, so there's some... These not being formatted is going all the way back to the days when I migrated from Jekyll to... from WordPress to Jekyll, and a bunch of stuff wasn't formatted right. So I could actually still go back and actually do that work. I want to find a photo. Oh, there's a photo. Never mind. That one's dead. But didn't some of these actually have images that showed up, or was that me on the live site? That was probably me on the live site, wasn't it? Oh, code. Look at that code. Oh, why didn't it put... Interesting. Watching for errors and rebooting with Bash. Okay, this will be the last thing we do tonight. When is this? 2017, 12, 20. So that's not a real one. We can just close all these for now. Do not save that because I don't know what happened there. But we can go back to here. 2017, what were we doing? 12, 20. Oh, so I just did the tabbing over for the code side. That's fine. Still works. Yeah, that compared to having like the highlight tag up there. So this is the markdown way to do code. I don't know that G is on its own line. Did I do that? Super weird. That definitely looks like an arrow. Whatever. What is going on there? Updated solution. G echo daytime. Yeah, okay, so I'm on my live thing right now. Let's just get rid of that because that's not supposed to be there. Next time I run that, that'll move all that stuff together. Oh, here we go. See, those do, so where, am I just calling those images directly? Is that what's happening? Oh, I'm calling off Cloudinary. Nice. By the way, my whole thing with doing that was making the joke of how they completely reverse the shots where the guy is now standing here naked instead of the woman. Anyways, just because I realize I'm flashing like, hey, look, bikini photo. Like the whole point of that was like, hey, we've reversed it in Wonder Woman. Cool. Okay, so this is the real site. Yeah, so that's what I was saying a second ago. Is like all these photos were from the real site. So printing error. I bet a bunch of other. I'm gonna have a bunch of other work to do. But cool. That's good. It's. I'm really happy with where that is. I'm not sure why that didn't load. Oh, that didn't load because it's not an actual post. That was just a. That must have been one that's sitting in drafts or sitting in. That was sitting in my drafts or inside. So I had three directories that I maintained: a production directory, a drafts directory, and then a dev directory. That must have been sitting in one of my dev directories. I'm sure that's what that was, because I was working on some image manipulation stuff and some Facebook tie-in stuff. So that's what that was. But this is cool. This is super cool. I can do a lot with this. I'm liking this. I'm excited about this. For real. Cool. Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap it for today. Or tonight, whatever. So, cheers to you. And be kind to each other, I think is what I say these days. And we'll figure out how to turn this thing off in about 30 seconds. And then you can have a wonderful rest of your evening. See y'all. Bye.